My right arm is a lot stronger than my left arm.
Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to my channel, I'm Uncle Crit. Today I wanted to talk about runes, masteries and item sets that go with them. So, first up, let's talk about runes. So, I got like 3 different rune pages I use. Well, no, it's actually 4, but one is just like there. Okay, let's start with the CDR thing. So I use quintessences of attack speed because obviously it's really great on Tryndamere to have attack speed. So I use them in the quintessences because if you use them in the marks, you actually get less attack speed than from the quintessences. So if you want to go both like attack speed and physical damage, you gotta do it this way and not the other way around. I got attack damage marks in red because I like to pressure early game, and if you have that little extra 80, you can really easily get first blood with just the stats you get from the raw stats you get from your runes. I like using cooldown reduction. I go with 6 greater glyphs of cooldown reduction and 3 of the scaling one, just because they fit in like that really well, and they get 10, and it fits the build really good. You will see it later. Yeah, so that's my first rune page, and I recommend you always using greater seals of armor, because you always like to steal jungle camps as Tryndamere, because you can do them really fast, especially if you push out your lane quickly with a static shift. Then it's really easy to counter jungle and to get ahead quickly. So always use armor. And another point is obviously that most of the top laners nowadays aren't AP, they are 80. So in matchups like Riven and Irelia, it's really useful anyway. Okay, the next one is here. So that's full attack speed. If you go with this rune page, you get to have 29% attack speed. It's really nice to have, but it's less early game oriented, like with the 80, because you have less power in the early levels, but it will compensate like a little later in the game when you get your first item. Then you will have like more attack speed and a lot more damage, like raw damage. You also get to have the magic resist runes with you, because if you don't have the 80, you kind of have to go a little bit passive, and even and most of the top laners, even if they're not AP, do like a little bit of magic damage. For example, like Shyvana W or whatever. Like, it doesn't even matter, like Lee Sin E, or even if the jungler is kind of AP, whatever. It gives you some stats that are really nice early game, and it really helps to get you through the early levels, even though Tryndamere is a really great early game champ. Okay, let's go ahead to the next one. Yeah, there it is. It's the same as the CDR one, just without CDR. It's actually with magic resist, so if you're scared of anything, you can go with that, but there are a few different builds you have to use when you don't take this 10% CDR. That's why I like using this site most of the time. And there's a fourth one. It's my 35 attack speed one. It looks really awful, but I don't use it in the top lane. Like, sometimes I do like to go jungle, and with this sort of site, you can really easily get through every single camp really fast, because you don't have anything to worry about with like attack speed wise. So you can go with the AD jungle item and not the attack speed one, which gives you really great early game power. And that was like one of the few issues that jungle Tryndamere had, like the early game. So with your attack speed and roots, you can compensate it to like really great power if you can build the AD item, and it also gives you 10% CDR, so that's really great as well. So yeah, that was it from my runes. Let's go to the masteries. So there are two mastery sites I like to use. The one focuses Feather of Battle, and the other one focuses Storm Raider Surge. So what you want to do as Tryndamere is obviously get as much auto attacks off as you can to do really high damage. And it's consistent because like auto attacks don't use mana or whatever, and you can stay alive for a really long time with your R. So there's a really great difference between those two. Feather of Battle is kind of early game oriented, because you can duel with it really great early game, because you get free 80 basically, and you get to have 7% armor penetration. And the other one is with Storm Raider Surge, you get like a little bit of lethality and magic pen per level, but it's not as much as the early armor penetration, but it's still good. And since your E does magic damage, it's also fine. So now, why would I use Storm Raider Surge? Tryndamere is a really bursty champ if you build him like you wanted to. You can really get the 30% max health like really easy if you crit. And I mean, the 2.5 seconds aren't that like short, because in 2.5 seconds you can like get out 3 to 4 auto attacks if you have like 1 point whatever attack speed, and you're mostly going to deal 30% of the champ's max health within 2.5 seconds, most of the time even with your first hit. So you get 75% slow resistance per 3 seconds and 40% movement speed. It's really difficult to understand the mastery, but if you get a hang of it, you really can't stop playing with it, because you kind of seem unstoppable. Because if you go in and crit someone, it doesn't even matter, someone, and you get Storm Raider Surge off, and the enemy support exhausts you, you still like run really fast, because the 75 slow resistance get you like most of the slow reduced, and the 30% movement speed gives you so much movement speed that you actually aren't even slowed. Like you get movement speed even though you are exhausted, and you can use that easily to your advantage late game, and to catch someone out as well. Like you can use like E flash to get on top of the AD carry or the mid laner or whatever, and they can't burst you down if it's like a Syndra or whatever, and you just follow them wherever they go. Like, they can't stop you. And your E gets 1 second reduced for each crit you do. So, and if you have a lot of CDR, you can really stick to someone really easily. Really easily. And the others are like pretty obvious. I'm going through them really quickly, like for attack speed. Yeah, just additional damage. The others don't really do much, so yeah, there's that. Then Vampirism is obviously really great on Tryndamere, and the spell vamp isn't really that bad as it looks, because I like to build a certain set, and then it's really amazing. I'm going to tell you about my favorite set in a few seconds. Double-edged sword, it just got swapped out with fresh blood, so that's pretty amazing on Tryndamere, just 5% additional damage. And the 2.5 doesn't really matter. Don't really matter. Yeah. So battering blows is awesome as well. I mean, armor pen. What can you say? With Fervor of Battle, it's harmony. Yeah, perfect. And savagery is because you want to clear minions as fast as you can, as fast as possible, and since it works on monsters as well, you can clear enemy territories really fast. Assassin is obvious. I mean, 2% increased damage, and you want to split push all game, no matter what normally. Merciless is obvious as well, and yeah, no, that doesn't really do much. Like, you get some health back when you kill someone, but since you don't die anyway and it gets reduced, your HP gets reduced to like 30, you can just heal off of that, and the mana doesn't really matter. This sucks on Trynd, and this is the new thing. It adds a little bit of damage, so it's better than the other two. Like, stepping into a bush causes your next damaging attack or ability to deal 3% of your target's current health. I mean, that's at least something. Yeah, so whatever. These are the same. Over here, and I talked about those two. Yeah, okay, perfect. And the third one is just for my jungle. There are a few different spells you can use on Tryndamere, and on top lane I really recommend you using Flash, but it's kind of not a big deal if you like Ghost. Like, it really depends on your taste. But I like using Flash. So, but you can choose between Ignite and Teleport, and if you are top lane Tryndamere, I think the ones who go best together is Ignite and Flash, Flash and Teleport, or Ghost and Teleport. I won't recommend you like using Ghost and Ignite, because Flash has like the surprise factor to it, and with E-Flash, Ignite, Auto Attack, you can always catch someone off guard, and with Ghost you kind of cannot. So TP is probably a lot better with it. Same in the jungle. Like, I don't want to use Ghost Ignite, but I want to use Ghost Smite, just like with Teleport. It has really great synergy for ganking, and it makes you really strong, because no one can outrun you. And I don't recommend you using Storm Raider Surge in combination with Ghost, because it really sucks. It really sucks. Fervor of Battle is way better with Ghost. Yeah, so there's that. And I like using Runic Efficiency, because most of the time someone's there and you just get more value out of rep buff. But apart from that, everything is the same. Okay, now to my item sets. I really recommend you starting with a longsword, refillable potion, or a Doran's Blade and a health potion. For the jungle, it would be a Hunter's machete, and refillable potion as well, because you don't really need a heal as much, and it's kind of it's much more worth going for the refillable rather than the health potion. Yeah, so these are the 5 boots you can go with Tryndamere. I normally get Berserkers because you can stomp with them. It really depends on your matchup. Like if you're up against someone like Cannon, you really want the Mercury Treads. And for example, Maokai as well. So these AP lockdown champs really suck for Tryndamere players, because it can shut you down and you won't be able to move. But Mercury Treads make everything easier. This is if you have a really hard time on your top lane and you're playing against something auto attack based, which is ahead. And even when you're ahead, you can sometimes build it. For example, against Aurelia, because she's a really strong champion, and even if she's 0-3, she can still 1v1 you. But if you have Ninja Tabby, she won't be able to. That's against slow. It kind of depends, but most of the time you don't want to get them. And the CDR boots are pretty amazing as well, because there's a CDR boot built, as I mentioned. The item you always want to get is Static Shift, because it allows you to clear waves so quickly that you have a lot of free time, and you can stack up stuff with it. For example, Hextech Gunblade. I really love going Static Shift first into Hextech Gunblade, because it's just so freaking fun. Holy shit, the heal is insane. It's really underestimated, like the combo, because it does magic damage, the Static Shift, and it heals you. The Hextech heals you for everything, like magic damage that has been dealt. And that's actually a lot. And your E does magic damage as well. And another thing would be that Hextech Gunblade has a really huge range, and the active lightning bolt effect, and you can catch someone really easily just having Hextech Gunblade, and they can't out heal you and out damage you anyway. And since you're most likely almost going to be ahead, it's a safe option as well. Another thing, another build I like to use is going Infinity Edge second, because this allows you to burst someone down really quickly, and it goes really well with Storm Raider Surge. It's kind of a little bit risky to go with that build, but if you're experienced, you'll know it's great. You can even go Static Shift into Infinity Edge, into Hextech Gunblade, and if you have those 3 items, you're probably unstoppable. And Nash's Tooth isn't even troll, like, it's legit. Like, holy shit, this build is legit. It gives you 20% cooldown reduction, which is just amazing. And if you get Ionian boots, have the 10% CDR from the runes plus the 20, you're at 40. And you can use your E like permanently, and you can crit, like you will have 30% crit chance plus 20% plus your passive, so you're like at 85 almost all the time, and you will get most of your auto attacks critted, so it will be really easy to reduce the cooldown of your E, so you can get the Hextech Gunblade effect and the damage from your E out more often. Okay, so another build is with the Black Cleaver. you go Ionian Boots first into Static Shift, or get the Static Shift even before the Ionian Boots. It doesn't really matter, it depends on what you want, like the utility or the raw damage. And then, excuse me, you go into a Black Cleaver. What this allows you to have 40% at 3 items with Ionian Boots. And you get 10 plus 20 plus 10 from your runes, and you're like already finished with your build practically, because you can run out everyone because you will have your E up permanently, and this is great against some tankier things as well because of the armor penetration you get from Black Cleaver. The most snowbally build is still probably Static Shift into Infinity Edge, because it just provides so much raw damage. You can, if you don't like the Hexagon Blade, you can obviously go Bloodthirster at 3rd if you want, or even if you like, you can also go with a Vampiric Scepter and a Phantom Dancer just to get like the lifesteal, and this is probably like almost as good if you want a 100% crit chance. Phantom Dancer is pretty amazing as well. Like every single one of these items is kind of legit. The Ghost, you can go into Ghostblade if you need a CDR, but it's kind of nerfed and I wouldn't recommend it because it's kind of bad, because 3000 gold and you only get like 60-80. That's not really that great, right? Yeah. The Rage Blade is fine, but I think it's only good in the AP build. If you go like Static Shift first, Nashor's second, Hexagon Blade third, and then Rage Blade, but that's only for the experienced Tryndamere players out there who are not lazy, but tired of building crit all the time. Then Hydra is an option for like pushing with Static Shift, like you auto attack with Static Shift and Hydra into the wave and it's kind of gone, but it's really preference, I don't really like it. The Essence Reaver is okay, I guess, like as a 6th item if you are like low on CDR and want to get the additional 20% crit strike chance, but yeah, it's like an okay item. Then this one's pretty great, because if you're really ahead, you can just get it, and then it will automatically transform into this item for free. Like you get 350 gold for free if you take enemy camps, and since you're a Tryndamere and you can do that all the time, so you get 350 gold for free, and then you can go into Ähms. But if you don't get the Portrait Dirk, I wouldn't recommend going into Ähms because it's too expensive, but with that it's fine. And Hourglass is just for swag. Oh baby. And that doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay. I really hope you enjoyed my little guide about the item sets, the runes, the masteries and the spells as well. And if you did, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you next time.